Jeremy, you're wonderful. Seriously, like a brother to me. I'll more on that later. But right now, it's about me. You guys are about to get to know me really well.
Yeah.
So to, I guess, just riff off that, I don't like the idea of a pseudonym either. It's kind of silly. But one thing you'll, I guess, probably glean from tonight, a few years ago, I was in a relationship that started out seeming very dreamlike and then slowly got into very hell-like. And I used to be an everyday writer, write for like probably a half hour every night. And then slowly my journal started getting read without my knowing. And then slowly arguments started to be about the material in said journal until I didn't really feel like I was safe anywhere to write or read or share what those things were. So for about a year, probably longer than that, I didn't want to share anything with anyone. And coming to Out Loud was probably the first time that I did that again.
Yeah.
And so that's probably part of why it's easy to wear things on my sleeve here.
Yeah.
Because it's a very safe, very warm place. And I meant it the other month when I said that you probably saved my voice.
Aww.
It's really special. So without any further ado, more on the stuff that made me want to not share. Some of you may have heard this one before. I read that one like two nights ago.
Do it.
Totally different audience.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Could you stare at me any louder? A glaring glance of gunpowder? If my flintstone tongue missteps and sparks a fight we won't forget, a fight like all the rest, to burn these birds in their nest. Eggs of dreams unhatched, broken victims of the match, and we'll whistle no more, and we'll sing no more. Built our house a tinderbox, and forgot our warmer thoughts. Funny how heated things got when the youthful passion cooled off. Could we whistle once more? Could we sing once more? To the bird that taught me how, can we whistle together now? Before we sink in the flames, could you love me what I am? Could you call me by my name? Could we sing our song again? So, sometimes it sucks to have, in situations like that when you don't want to share, especially when it seems like your entire life is going train wreckish, then you tend to shut off, and this next one's kind of about that. In the world as it's known, in 2015, life is shown. We have heard the warnings, manage your postings, but a user should know to be just as careful with what isn't shown. Else a friend might confront, Facebook hasn't shown you together. It's been more than a year, and you should forget her. I didn't want to ask before, but it's been more than a year, so now I'm sure something is wrong. No point in denial. Fill in the gaps missing in your profile. I don't want to talk. Tell me about you. We don't have time for all the truth. Nor could I say what it is, nor do I have the heart to explore. So tell me about you, and speak of my secrets no more. Not just a problem. So, years ago when all this was happening, I was in there were a lot of transitions going on all at once. I was living in Florida at the time. very separate, and I was, well, you'll get the idea from the poem. I hope. Long gone am I from the days of rice and beans, when my love was reduction, and solace, summer breeze. No luxury allowed, I'd bike to fill my needs. I was only hugged by the night and calmed beside the sea. Before that time I was used to you beside me, but I left for us and lost us both in my house beside the sea. Every beach has a treasure, but it's missed when you dig. In my labor I lost the most precious things. Before that land, before that rice, I'd cook fatty fish and hope you'd be pleased. But on my own, without my home, I longed not for flavor. I couldn't come to figure how such goods should be wasted on a single me. So I sought to share and save my life in my house beside the sea. I left the sea for the trees, closer to where we were real. Not a shore with each shell a home for bad memories. I'd hoped the move would bring you close, but I invaded your space. So you retreated to the other coast. I couldn't blame you for wanting more, so I set out to make the most. We'd speak sometimes, seldom share. Phone numbers nearly lost. Found others with whom to share, but sharing and not has its costs. So I tried to make the book a little bit of a progression of kind of both mood and my life and development. Slowly, I think sometimes when you find yourselves at bottom, you're pretty willing to compromise, and you're also still so lost that you don't know what you want enough to be able to bring it forward. So this poem's sort of about that. You're the reason for my coffee, a cup I wince to drink. Late nights of excitement in the sheets, with rushed mornings of breakfast in my car. There's no point to conceal it, not of one I can think. I'm timidly happy now, coffee I'd gladly drink. I had times of dark spirits, whiskey, wine, and doubt. With your permission, my wish granted, I rested inside your bed. West won't remain, I can't reclaim the thoughtless words I said. Coffee couldn't keep me content, though sweeter now with time. So with you gone, and my cup strong, I drink it still to remind. There's not a soul out there who can love you bare, when bare you've never been. I think as you progress through hard times, maybe when you've been sorting through feelings of betrayal or misgivings, which I'm sure we've most been there at least once or twice, I think you'd normally get to a plateau, or a few maybe along the way, where you're able to see the benefits and actually be grateful to the person who has been the source of a lot of bad feelings before then. There's this thing called albedo, which is a very Italian word for the light Earth reflects from the sun. You're my son. The greatest parts of me, any light that attracts any passing body, is simply an after effect of you and your infinite, unbearable light. I couldn't survive so close to you. Now I revolve from afar, rocky, hardened, and reflective.